I got a lot of questions from children of parents, of course, who are adult children, young adult children, about how to talk to their parents now, whom they love, about the attachment issues they feel. And, there's one here, I'll just read it as an example. It says, as an adult, and I almost tear up saying this because, it just shows the audience that listens to this podcast are really intentional people that want to repair relationships and build healthy families and, be loving and be forgiving. But it just shows there's a lot of woundedness in young adult children who become more self-aware about their own journeys and realize, hey, there's stuff in my childhood that was really tough, but they love their parents. They want to be in good terms with their parents. So as an example, I got this question, as an adult, how do you approach a parent about your past with your parent without making them feel bad or like they made mistakes so you can heal and not repeat the unhealthy cycles from your childhood? So I think they're delicately asking this. It sounds like there were issues in their childhood. They're not even wanting to throw the parent under the bus and say there were issues, but how do you approach your parents? Because you want repair with them, but there were issues in your childhood.
Well, it sort of puts the child in the position of having to think about the parent. And I don't know how old these children are. These are adult children. So
these are, let's say, adult children. I didn't get ages on all the questions, of course, but
30s.
Let's say like late 20s, early 30s.
So, listen, the truth will set you free is the expression. And so you have to be honest, and you can say, I have feelings that I haven't shared with you. And I'm afraid that if I don't share those feelings with you, we'll never be as close as we could be. And that they, by not expressing those feelings, it's getting in the way of me having a closer relationship. And I know that you want to have a close relationship to me. So this is what's getting in the way. And I feel that you need to hear how I feel about things in my childhood that I never expressed to you.
And if the child is met with perhaps especially for a parent who has their own damage, a defensiveness of, oh, I'm a horrible parent. I oh, woe is me. The parent kind of makes it about them. Woe is me, woe is me. And the child feels like now they're just literally punishing the parent to even bring these things up. What would you recommend?
Well, I guess you can say, it sounds like you're really having a hard time hearing my pain. I'm sure you have your own pain too, but it sounds like you're really just having a hard time listening to my pain.
And if it devolves from there, is then the advice, this is not the time for this deeper relationship that you hope to have. At least they're not ready yet.
Yeah, you can say, it sounds like we can't have this conversation now because it's too painful for you to hear about my pain. And when you're ready to hear about my pain, it could make us closer. And remember, the carrot at the end of the stick for your parents is the closeness of the relationship. Mm-hmm. So there is a manipulation to it, yes, but it's a good way to go about it.
Is there work that adult children can do to deal with this pain that they use the term my pain, so that they're not expecting too much of a parent who has their own frailties, but that they can still discover a deeper relationship with the parent?
Well, therapy, individual therapy that is psychodynamic. I'm a psychoanalyst. So the kind of therapy that I do with patients, individual therapy, is really focused on healing the inside of that patient. It's not that I don't focus on the real relationships, but if you have an adult, sometimes their parents are passed away. Sometimes their parents, they're alienated from their parents. Sometimes they can't repair in a real way, but they can repair internally. So we have two sets of parents. We have our real parents, and then we have the parents that we carry around inside of us every day who talk to us in our head, right? You'd say the voices in our head, our mother, our father, and they're usually exaggerations of our real parents. But to say that when you go to therapy, although, yes, some therapy is about healing the dynamics in relationships, getting you to be able to talk to your mother, your real father. Most of the time, therapy is about healing the myth of your parents inside of you, healing the internal and the mother and the internal father. And that is probably the most powerful thing, because those are the parents that you will carry around with you till the day you die.